We must stop the terror. Now watch this drive.
Why are you gay? You are gay.
Okay, welcome to another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast, ladies and gents. Welcome. What do we have in store? Well, we got presidential election, and speaking of politics, we love politics on the show. We love politicians. We're very happy and pleased that we are capable of, bringing people together at their local municipal town councils and joining everybody in love and freedom, and it is wonderful, isn't it? But before we get into that, upcoming stand-up dates: Fox Creek, Alberta, November 7th. Peace River County in Berwyn. Sorry, bad news, folks. Sold to the bone. Nice try, Mayor Elaine. November 9th, Grand Prairie, Alberta. November 16th, we will be in Toronto, Ontario. November 17th in Niagara Falls. November 22nd, my birthday. Oh, a birthday celebration. We will be in Medicine Hat, Alberta, Southern AAB, baby. Then we are in Edmonton, November 29th and 30th. Here in Edmonton, I think I just said that. December 1st, back in Calgary. December 14th in Thunder Bay, Ontario. December 19th in Oxnard, California. December 31st in Castlegar, British Columbia. January 24th in Slave Lake, Alberta. And just added January 25th in Fort McMurray, Alberta. Additional episodes of, all tickets available at dangercatshop.com. And if you'd like a extra episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast, head on over to patreon.com/dangercat69. All the links are down below. Please leave a comment if you're on YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that nonsense, all that dumb shit that you gotta say to, I'm a YouTuber. Support me. Ugh. Quite the turn of events that is taking place in this world, this creation. You want to tell jokes. I go over this time and time again. This is a topic beaten to death. It's just an abused slave on an island out in Florida at this point. At what point, like Canadians, do we have anything more important to talk about other than three dummies that tour around in a minivan telling their silly knock-knock jokes? Is that where are we done yet? Have we moved on yet? Holy Dinah. Now it's like went up in this is the second mayor to step in and be like, well, these guys are say. I feel like I'm a part of some like novel I don't want to be a part of, Like, just leave me be. Let me fucking tell these stupid jokes. All these there's notebooks behind me right there. There's stacks and stacks of notebooks of thoughts and ideas that just some are funny, some are not. Let me just go and figure out which ones are. That's it. And now we got mayors stepping in. The show is too offensive. It's exhausting. Can you not? Is there not better things to talk about rather than three dorks that want to show up and wiggle their hogs on a stage? Hey. I can only really speak for myself with the hog wiggling. Actually, no, all three of us like to wiggle the junk a little bit. Tragic Mike's up there. Bunch of tragic dykes, you know what I'm saying, folks? There it is. So actually, there was an individual. I didn't ask him to do this. He did it on his own accord, on his own free will. I don't ask anybody to go and stand up in front of their town council and make a point on my behalf or speak on anything that I'm doing that counselors or mayors or any of that. I don't ask for this. These are people that are just doing it out of on their own free will. They've went, and I'm very grateful. It is super cool that folks are passionate enough about what it is we do. And I don't even think it really constitutes on what we do. It's more so what it represents. And those people that see injustice and want to stand up against it. And I'm not saying like, oh, what's happening to me is totally, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they believe in the right on a, they believe the free speech is absolute. And regardless on how you feel about words, things, action, not even free speech. Let's stay to free speech. What am I doing here? Stay on topic. This is what happens when you have a solo podcast. Your brain can just go wherever it wants to wander. It's like a dog off the leash that's blind, dumb, and should be put down. This is exactly it, of like doing solo pods. You got no one here to bounce ideas off of. You got fucking, who am I going to riff with? Myself? It's just like, or the thousands of people that are in here. They're laughing. They're having a good time. I'm playing to an audience here, for Christ's sakes. What more do you want? Dance, monkey, dance. But what I'm saying is, I'll get to my goddamn point here of like, this individual went out on his and took time out of his own day and wanted to talk about this issue of the mayor in Peace River that stepped in to deem the show too offensive and thought to herself that this shouldn't exist in the town. I don't believe that that's a mayor's job to do so. I think everybody, they're what they deem funny is subjective, and I don't expect everybody to like what I fucking say. I'm not that naive. I'm not that stupid, okay? Some of the things that I say aren't going to be perceived well by people that have a stick up their ass. There we go. We're back on. I'm taking shots. Who's this wild guy? He's got a podcast and he's a wild boy. He's saying silly things. Arrest him. Put him in jail. Beat him with a stick. Beat this man to a pulp. Oh, the Undertaker. He's got a microphone. Not what I'm saying. But yes, I just want to say that I'm grateful that there are individuals that do stand up against this. They don't think it's correct that politicians should be stepping in and deeming what is right for adults to consume. That's what I'm trying to get. My point is. That is my point. And, regardless, this guy may hate my comedy. He may like it. He may be a fan. He may be whatever he is. I'm just grateful that an individual took time out of their day to go and speak on this. Obviously I can't be everywhere at one time and go there and talk about this with the elected officials of every municipality, from Comox to Peace River. This is twice that it's happened now, where the mayor and councilors are and people in elected positions in these small towns and cities feel the need to step in and dictate what is to be entertainment in the town. And I don't agree with that, because then. Here's the thing. This is why I disagree with it, because then you're drawing a line. You're drawing a line on what art can exist in the town. We are comedians, professional comedians that perform to consenting adults that purchase tickets. They purchase tickets. Nothing more, nothing less. That is it. Jokes done in the fucking couple jokes in the host. And I don't know. I'm just I guess what I'm trying to say, like I am very grateful that someone felt the need to stand up and speak about this. I don't think it's entirely for me. I'm not. My ego isn't that big and be like, look at these people that come to my aid as no, it's just, I find it, I find it very cool. I find it very, I don't know. It makes you feel good that that people do take a stand against this, and they see that this isn't right. I'm a firm believer that whether or not I disagree with whatever type of show that is happening, if it's in the realm of art, that it should exist. That's what these spaces are designed for. The community has come together. I believe that this is a hall that has been built by taxpayer money. I could be wrong, and if I am, my apologies. But the taxpayers, then, if it really came down to it, then it should be a vote on whether or not that this should happen with the constituents of that area. I don't think the mayor is to be stepping in and being like, no. And very vague with a lot of the words that she chooses in this. We'll get right into it. First video of the day is...
Say your name.
Oops. Let's get this over here. So here is a video from...
resident of Peace River. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I came concerned about something that I heard recently in the news about the mayor, the CAO, and the venue operator of Athabasca Hall deciding to cancel a November 8th booking of the Danger Cats comedy tour. I reached out to the comedy group for context, and what I was told is concerning. They claimed the booking was canceled in September, but they were not notified. It's possible this was an honest mistake, as personnel change in the venue booking department may have had incorrect contact info for the group. When they did find out they were canceled, which was about last week, a town employee told them the mayor directed the venue to cancel the booking. When the mayor was asked why, her comment was that the show was, quote, too offensive. Before attending this meeting, I did some reading on the Municipal Government Act of Alberta. Nowhere in this governing document does it say that it is up to mayors, council, or municipal officials to censor individuals they find, quote, too offensive. The word censor does not exist anywhere in this act. However, under Part 1, it does note that the purpose of the municipal government is to, among other things, provide good government and foster economic development of the municipality, provide services, facilities, or other things that are necessary or desirable for all or a part of the municipality. It does not say the mayor and council are the arbiter of what is respectful or offensive and what isn't. So now that this show has been canceled, a venue in Berwyn has picked it up. So now something that should have been economically positive for our town is the gain of our neighbors in Berwyn. My questions to council are, did anyone else on council know this event was canceled? Why did this booking get approved in the first place if it was to be canceled later? And why is council running counter to its mandate of fostering economic development in our town? Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'll just make one comment. It's my understanding the venue was booked under a different name.
This is hold on. Back it
uh,
up, sister. No. No. We're not getting it. This is where I have to step in. This is where I have to be a bad guy. I did not book the show under Danger Cats, okay? I didn't. The show was booked under our names. That's what it was booked under, okay? So this is something that kind of irritates me because it's making it seem like I'm being like I'm trying to be deceitful a little bit and lie and pull one under their eyes or pull the wool over them to sneak in and like obviously I have to market in the show. I have to market the show in the area. And one thing we've noticed is people are kind of a little more reluctant to want to go somewhere where they don't know where they're going. The whole secret show aspect of it was fun for a moment, but you want to know where you're going. You want to plan your trip. I know in these small towns, it's easy to be like, oh, it's easy to maneuver around. And if I eat, I get that. but it just doesn't, it seems like it's a scam a little bit. And I would never do that to anybody. I'm not a fucking call center in New Delhi. I'm not trying to squeeze pennies out of you so that way I can fucking, the $25, I'm not about to scam somebody for $25 and have my reputation ruined because of a ticket purchase. So it's tough. Not what I want to do. I want to promote where I'm going to be. I want people to know where they're going to go, what they can expect, if they want to reserve a table, if they know the fucking owner of the venue and they have like, hey, do you mind if you put, Tim and Gina and all my friends are coming together at like a row of 8. Can you make sure to, I want that to happen. I want everybody to feel a part and come out and enjoy themselves. That's all that we're really looking to do. We want that more than anything. And to say like, well, from your understanding, you should know how Google works. And you could have Googled the names. You could have Googled the headliner's name and knew who was coming to. So to say that the show was booked under a different, no. It was booked with full intent of just, I just didn't say Danger Cats. Because unfortunately, the mainstream media has just, it's tough, okay? You Google the name and all of this bullshit's attached to it. All of it. Just slanderous lies about what we are doing. The list goes on. You know exactly how the smear campaigns go. They try and just destroy your character. They want your character to just be incinerated, just destroyed. So that way when anybody looks up and be like, oh, this guy must be a horrible human being. A horrible, horrible human being. Regardless. And nobody wants to get to the truth of things. You want the fast. You want the quick dopamine fixes. That's right. That's why fucking TikToks and all that are 45 seconds long. That's all it is. If you're calling them, feed me more. Just make that dopamine hit. We don't go any deeper than we need to understand the reality of it. Some folks do. It's a very small, finite group of people. So after learning this, it becomes a little more difficult when you're like, it'll be, when you say Danger Cats, I hear those guys are insert smear label. Tough business, isn't it? When you just want to go and tell some jokes. So I just said, I just used names. What's the show name? These guys. You can figure Brett Forte and Friends, Uncle Hack and Friends, Sam Walker and Friends. That's it. Get it? You can Google that. You can Google, and I think it'd be pretty easy to piece together who the friends are, right? You can piece that together. But there was no attempt to pull the wool over their eyes and show up and be like, ta-da, I gotcha, like I'm the fucking Joker. There was no intent of that at all. You could simply Google who the headliner was for that show and know who they are touring with. I want that very clear. That is something that I am not trying to lie to nobody so I can go and do stand-up. I understand there's little fucking ninja moves to pull here, but there is no lying whatsoever. They are more than capable of Googling who is there. And then when you allow somebody, yes, we have no problem. You didn't Google. And now it's my issue because you're lazy and you didn't just research. You just said, yeah, willy-nilly. Come on in. And you get upset at yourself for that's what I think that, that's what upsets me a little bit. It's like it's like, oh, well, they tried to fool us. No, we did not. And by we, I mean me. I didn't try and pull no fast one at all. Just so we are 100% clear here.
The towns noticed that it was the group called Danger Cats. We had others that were upset and had seen shows, had heard of shows, and including comments that they thought were offensive and derogatory, both in statements and in contact.
Again, here, let's get into this. In statements, when do we make statements? If I'm making statements, you know where you need to take me? Out to a field and beat me to a pulp with a shovel, okay? Any one of you. If I start getting preachy like I'm being a soapbox fucking priest on the corner of Jasper Ave, I need you to hit me in the face with a snow shovel and make it painful. Drag me to the worst surgeon in the country to have the stick removed up my ass. Because apparently something's off a little bit here. Make it painful. Make it painful. And make sure that stick has slivers so I can feel the pain for days after, because I deserve it. Making statements. When the fuck do we make statements? I can't recall a statement. Derogatory statements. No, we make jokes. We tell jokes. Old Betty White back there. Elaine, I miss you. That's all I'm going to say. I miss you. I miss you too. And I know the divorce was bad. I know it was bad. We went our own ways. We were young lovers. What can I say, Elaine? Used to ride my face like Seabiscuit until the sun came up. And now look at us. At war with one another. You're an elected official. I'm a silly willy comedian bouncing around the countryside. And I know you see this life and you wanted to be a part of it. You let your hair down once when you were younger and we had a good time. I get it. I know. You took the uptight path. You buttoned up the shirt. You used to have the knockers out on the back of a supercycle, We used to be fun. We used to sing. We used to dance. You used to let your beaver hang out while the Rolling Stones' greatest hits played in my 2006 Ford Escape. Those were the good old times. You'd shoot ping pong balls at me out of that fucking, you know what I'm talking about. Those were the good old days, weren't they? And now look at you. What happened? You lost me? You lost the fun guy who let his hair down a little bit, what's left of it. And now what? Now what? We used to be fun, young lovers. I was a young boy. You were an older woman. You taught me things that no health class could. And now I'm left. Now I'm left here. I'm equally sad. I'm equally as sad that things had to go this way. I am. It was difficult. I get it. Nobody wants to see somebody down like this. But you don't got to kick me, baby. I'll come back. The offer still stands. The seat is dear. I've been cleaning it. I'll shave the seat. You used to call me your little Springer Softail. You remember that? Remember you used to call me your little Springer Softail? Statements. I don't make any goddamn statements. Imagine, hold on. Let's rewind that. Fun little bit there, me pretending to be in love with Elaine. Still am. Maybe I am. Maybe I am not. But let's rewind that. Making statements. Are you serious? You're going to take the guy who started this shit by dressing up as the prime minister and choking on rainbow dildos seriously? That's who we're taking serious. I got pictures of me fucking a pumpkin on my Instagram, and we're looking at this guy and taking him serious? Is this where we're at, folks? Do we have to take a look around? Come on. Come on. The guy that had his dick in a pumpkin, we're taking serious right now? This is a sad time to be alive. If we're taking a guy that calls himself Uncle Hack. I'm a 33-year-old guy with a stage name online, Uncle Hack. That's who we're taking. He's making statements. I should be, if I start making, you ignore me. You ignore me. You do not listen to a fucking word I say. Okay? That means I'm vax injured. If I start making statements, you catch me in public with a sign in my hand outside of any buildings. That includes, legislative buildings, city council fucking buildings, or you go down to a courthouse, any buildings, a fucking dollar store. If I have a sign in my hands, make sure whatever you drive, the grill of that runs into my forehead and the logo is stamped on me for life. I want you to hit me hard enough that I drool on myself and have to eat baby formula for the rest of my cold, dark, pants shitting days. And that is no disrespect to anybody who is like that. I'm saying I need to live like that to learn a lesson. Get me the fuck out of here. If I'm out there being like, actually, I'm here to make fun of you. That's it. I'm here to make fun of you. And I'm doing a damn good job of it. I think. Anyways, I can't really speak for everybody else, but I feel like I'm doing a good job. Please make me feel good about myself. Anyways, Elaine.
Particularly with respect to a certain group. So.
With respect to a certain group. See? What group? What group? What group? Say it. Say it. Cowards. All of them. They hide behind who they truly are, don't they? How's that for a statement? Lunatic. I act like a Do I need to drop the veil? Is it that hard to see? I act like a lunatic online. Many of you have met me in real life. I act like a moron online. How hard is it to fucking understand? Do we need to have like a college level course to educate folks on the retardation that I get up to? Do we? Do we have to do that? Is that what is necessary for us to move forward? Is to not take the fucking guy that has advocated for debauchery for the past 6 years, maybe longer. I've relaxed a little bit, haven't I? But I still find white trash culture very funny. However, with that being said, we're going to take him serious?
Town admin, in conjunction with the discussion with myself, decided that basically that would probably not be a good group to have at our public venues, and that there were other private facilities in town that could accommodate them if they so wished. The other thing that I'll repeat, the group itself did not book under its own name.
Yes, we did. We booked under, the group itself didn't book under its own name. The name of the headliner was on there, and you could have Googled it. You could have Googled it. You would have known who's coming to town. You would have known who was coming to town. And like I said, little Easter eggs. Is that bad? Not really. I don't think it is. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. That's the main thing. I am not lying.
It was booked under something else. So that's all the comments we have at this point in time. Thank you for coming forward.
This is funny. I like this part.
I'll just make one comment. I can't speak for anything other than myself. And what I can say is that for myself, I was not contacted. This was not discussed. This was not a question asked of individual council that I'm aware of. So I'm just saying, I wasn't asked. I don't know if other individual councilors were or weren't, but I was.
And I will say that no, other councilors were not asked. This was between admin and myself. Thank you. Okay, so next up, we have a presentation, I understand, from the Peace River Rotary Club.
There's others that want to speak.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Anybody else that wishes to come forward, please do so.
This guy.
Barry Titus. And speaking about the same event, the show was booked and then canceled at a later date. From what I've heard, the mayor hasn't even seen or heard of this material that this group does. And without even hearing it, if you do hear it, you can't censorship and cancel other events or that event. Do you have a favorite band? Not every song is your favorite, or you listen to every song that that band sings. Same with comedy or other entertainment. You don't listen to all their material. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others that wish to come forward at this time? No?
Can I speak again?
Okay. We're not going to get into back and forth discussion.
I just think it's important to note here that what these guys are doing is just telling jokes. And if we allowed them to be at a venue in our town, it's to our benefit. A town that, you know, needs any economic push. If you don't like their jokes, you just don't attend the show. They're still free to sell tickets and people are still free to attend. They had a show here last year at a private venue, and it was well received. So I'm very concerned with just undemocratic decisions made to cancel people for maybe wrong think or something, some off remark that you don't like. You just exercise your right not to listen to it, but you don't censor them. You don't shut them out of your community, right? It's counter to your mandate as a council. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further presenters?
There it is. That I'll be truthful. That's really cool to me, anyways. You know, I know maybe this guy's motive is more so for the economic growth of the town and us coming to. I don't know his background. It could be anything, but I do enjoy going to smaller towns. There is a mutual respect between them being the residents and even and even with ourselves, because there isn't. I grew up in a small town. There isn't much coming through that you know where you're excited for it to be there. It's the town will have like a theater group that does a dinner and you know, a play of some sort, and that's not everybody's thing. And you know, I'm not saying I'm the biggest thing in the country. I'm not saying that. We have a respectful following online, and I don't have to be egotistical about it. I can see it for what it is, and we do. We have a decent following online. We make some funny shit from time to time. Not all the time, okay? Not all the time. Not every time we win. Not every time it fucking hits. I understand that. But, you know, majority of the following are from these places, these smaller towns, these smaller cities. So it's fun to go somewhere, because the one question that I get is, why would you come here? And it's like, why wouldn't I? You know, why wouldn't I? The city gets this shit all the time. There's stuff happening all the time. And we can make a fun fucking evening for the town to come out. It's economically, it economically benefits the whole community. I get to show up, and I'm grateful to do what I love to do. I found something that I'm relatively good at and enjoy doing, which is very rare in life. You know, like a lot, I can only imagine. I can't imagine the folks that just wake up every day and they do whatever they need to do to survive. I respect it. I do. I respect the fuck out of it. And I'm cut from the same cloth as a lot of those folks that are in those towns. So to come up and they understand what I'm doing. So it's reciprocated well. And smaller businesses in the town, restaurants, bars, they see a spike. People are out like prior, when not this last time, but the time before, we were in Rocky Mountain House, and there's a restaurant right beside the venue that we played. And they were like, what the fuck is going on? Why are there so many people here? We are not staffed for this. We had no idea. And they see a boost. The bars after, because you come to the show, you're going to have a few drinks and enjoy yourself. So, you know, you kick your feet up and you fucking have a few drinks at the Danger Cats comedy show. Then you go out to the local bar and you see a spike. You see a spike. And that's it. This isn't, I'm tired of fucking hearing that what we're doing is going out to incite violence or we're inciting hatred. That's not it. Enough with it. I'm tired of seeing that. It's disheartening. You know, it is disheartening because all you're really truly trying to do is show up somewhere, be present in that moment, make jokes about the town, make fun of a local that's fucking, you know, like we put effort into this stuff, and when you show up and you give these folks something that they can be excited for, and you're excited for it because you're going into a new area, you're there to have a fucking great time with these people. And it generates and it becomes a magical moment. And then like the next time you come around to that town, they're like, oh man, remember last year when you called my buddy us? And you're like, fuck, I don't remember, but I'm glad you do. It becomes fun. You become friends with these people, you know? And to me, that's cool. That means more. This celebrity status bullshit is gay as hell. It's cool to be fucking welcomed into a town. And to have folks like this stand up and say something on your behalf, whether it's for you directly or for the economic growth of a town. Either or. They see the benefit of you coming there. And we can both agree, you know, like, hey, I get to come to your town, offer you entertainment, sell you a ticket to a show that I'm proud to present to you, that I put hours and hours and hours of work in, grinding it out on open mics in a fucking city that may not find this shit funny, that I'm coming up with in my head, making them laugh with it. And if I make them laugh with it, I know for a fact the homies out in, you know, these small towns are going to have a good time with it. That's it. It's no different than like, you know, when you're crafting something, it could be woodworking, your mechanics, or something you do as a hobby. And sometimes your hobby turns into a full-time job, and that might ruin it for you. You got to really still be passionate about what you're doing if you're going to turn your hobby into a full-time job. And to those that are able to like figure that out, I applaud you. You know, you found the cheat code. You found it. You found exactly what this shit's about. And you should feel good about that. There should be no shame in finding the one thing that you really enjoy. Because it's like, dude, you know how many people you see that just have all the things and they're still fucking miserable? You know, they have a miserable wife that's only with them because of the money, or you hear this time and time again. It's a tale as old as time. The rich man, but unhappy. And then you see a guy that's just like, yeah, he's doing okay. He's got a roof over his head, food in his belly, and, his old lady may not be at 12, but fuck, do they have a good time together? They're happy. You can see happiness. That's what it's about right there. And those are the folks I want to fucking be around, you know? I want to make those people fucking, I like having them around me. It's a good vibe. I'm not trying to attract these fucking negative naysayers. Oh man, everything. No. Shit's whack. And, by the type of jokes we tell, sometimes we attract those individuals our way because they deem what we're doing, quote unquote, like the mayor said, too offensive. And that's not the point. Is that the point that I am trying to make right now is that words, in the end, can sometimes not mean jack shit. Jack shit. Sometimes you can just talk shit. How many of your best friends, if you called them up and you told them they were gay, they would laugh? I hope all of them. Because then if they think that you're being serious, that ain't your friend. Or if they say it to you and you know that they're joking, vice versa. That isn't your friend. It's not your friend. In fact, if I can't bust your balls, we are not friends. If we've hung out more than 7 or 8 times and I'm like overly nice and just like polite and I haven't called you gay, I don't like you. I don't fucking like you. If you're just like, yeah, I don't fucking like you. If I haven't called you gay or something like that, we ain't friends. How am I going to be friends with somebody? I can't look at and be like, oh, you got yourself a new haircut, huh? Pretty gay. Pretty frickin' gay. That would be horrible. I couldn't imagine hanging around dudes like that. Could you? Oh my God. What a nightmare. What a fucking nightmare. But that right there, holy shit, we did 40 minutes on that. Unbelievable. But I think it's important to just say it out loud. And I'm not trying to make a statement or be preachy about it because that is, like I said, gay. But it is, I don't know, it's very heartwarming. It feels good that some folks are, they're tired of this. They're equally as tired of this, because it's not just me that receives the negative effect of if we didn't find a new venue, then I got to refund all the tickets and all this effort, all this work that you put into something is just like, yeah, you got to wash your hands clean. And in the beginning, I hate the fact that I've become numb to that feeling of just being like, oh well, just another one. Cause it was in the beginning, it used to get me like really worked up. It would be like, fuck man, like, why can't you just leave me be? You don't see me outside of, I don't know, pick event. Something that I would probably disagree with. And you don't see me out there protesting it because I don't care. Let them fucking do their thing. They're allowed to. That's the point. That's the point of Western civilization, is allowing things to exist, but also ignoring it. Nick McQuick had a good point of like, they used to smoke in restaurants. There were smoking sections in restaurants. And that would affect the whole fucking restaurant. If somebody sparked a jet up in the smoking section, there was just like the smoke scene that right here. This is where I won't cross that line. No, the whole restaurant reeked like cigarettes. You used to smoke in bars. Nobody fucking complained. You were just like, whatever. It's part of I'm going to reek like cigarettes when I get home. It's just how it goes. And people were upset over the fact that you couldn't smoke in fucking bars anymore. They were pissed about it. What do you mean I got to go outside and have a jet? It's just like common courtesy if you really think about it. Like right now we thrive a cig inside. You ever, like you go down to some of those places in the States and they still smoke cigarettes indoors. And you envy it. And you're like, God damn, this is fucking cool. Like you walking around Vegas just huffing jets while you're inside of a casino. It's fucking cool. You like that. We all like that. But now, now you got everybody's got a fucking. Well, I don't like the cigarette. It's not just the cigarettes now. And be like, we can't have peanuts in the restaurant because somebody might drop dead. It's like, enough. Let the fucking guy drop dead. Just leave it be. Who cares? That's kind of your fault. It's a genetic default. What are we doing? Why are we protecting? We're protecting the weak at this point. How many of the weak are we protecting? You know, and this isn't even me trying to be like, oh, well, everybody's just soft pussy. But like, we're literally, that's what we're doing. We live in a world where the weakest link gets a say. And that's honestly a good thing, but also it is a bad thing at the same time. Like, think about that. You want to tell me that this is the worst time to be alive? Let's protect this for what it is. It is a fabulous time to be alive. We literally will do anything to protect the weak. That's what we're doing. And now like the weak, and I'm not trying to get red pill bro or anything here. That's not my intent with my rant. But I'm just saying, how beautiful of a world do we live in where the dumbest and the weakest somehow still get a say. Back in the day, you know, you could rewind about 100 years ago. They probably would have got hit in the fucking skull with a hay shovel. You know, they would have been ended. They would have been ended if they questioned anything. Done. Over. You're out of here. You got caught sucking a dick. Good luck out there. You got caught sucking a hog. It's over, buddy. It's over. Now we're like, fucking have a parade. One's not good enough. Do it for a whole month. Do it for a whole month. That's not good enough. Paint the sidewalk. We don't give a shit. What's that? You want to cut the kids' cocks off? Fine, fuck it. Cut the kids' cocks off. Oh, you want to cut your cock off and wrestle? You want to be in the fucking female division of wrestling, powerlifting? What do you want to do? Do it. That's how free our world is. And you're worried about 3 fucking queers going around being like, hey, I kiss my sister. Come on. We got bigger issues to worry about. Like, who's headlining Pride Fest next year? Doja Cat, bring your sweet cheeks to Edmonton because daddy wants a sniff. You know what I mean? I'd be front row at a Doja Cat concert. Pride Festival or not, I'd be fucking, you know, I just want to see it shake live. Bitch, I said what I said. I'm just trying to give Doja a head. That's what I'm talking about. Change the lyrics. Elaine, you've been shoved to the side. Doja Cat, any one of my shows, this seat is available. Sit on my face so I can get to know you better, honey. Oh, God, turning into a pervert live. This is why you're not allowed in some of these towns. Some of these towns don't want you there, hack. Because of the things that you say. You, my friend, are a bit of a dum-dum. But here, we'll move along. First, after an hour of this shit, first headline of the day, folks. Weapons seen at pro-India protest near Hindu temple in Brampton. What is going on? Brampton. Brampton is getting too out of control. Demonstration followed violent clashes in Brampton, Mississauga on Sunday. Peel police issued a public safety alert Monday evening after they said some participants were wielding weapons at a demonstration near a Hindu temple in Brampton that saw violent clashes between protesters a day earlier. Police asked police's help on Tuesday to identify an individual who sprayed what they described as a noxious substance that resulted in one person suffering and minor injuries during Monday's protest. According to police, a large crowd of protesters initially gathered outside of the temple, Hindu Sabha Mandir, one of the sites, where violence erupted between opposing groups a day earlier. Has Canada just kind of turned into this place where it's like, you remember how Ali had to have the Thrilla in Manila because he was dodging the draft? Is that kind of like, is Canada becoming that place for India a little bit? Like, are we, genuinely asking this, if we kind of turned into that place where it's just like, listen, we're not going to have a fucking gang war in New Delhi. Okay. We're not going to do it here. We're actually going to go over to Canada and we're going to do it in Brampton because they like fighting in hockey in their sport. There's not too much fighting in cricket. So maybe, just maybe, we head on over there and have ourselves a little Royal Rumble with one another, huh? Why don't we do it in Brampton? It is entertaining, before we get into I get into this dark realm of this is where people are like, oh yeah, he is racist. That's not my intent here. Maybe we got to start televising this. Yeah. I'm a little tired of watching the same nonsense on television. Make this, Dana White should put a pay-per-view event right there. The next pay-per-view event through the UFC in Canada should be I don't even know, what is it? The Sikhs and the Hindus that are fighting one another. It's like Khalistanis and Indians. I don't know who's against who. Apparently, when you break it down, all brown dudes just hate one another. You got Iraqis hate these people. It's all a complicated mess. It's very hard to understand. And, people call me racist, and I don't even understand. A true racist would know what the fuck is going on with these people. You would think, right? I have no goddamn idea. Not a clue. But all I do know is every time I hear something out of Brampton, there's swords and fucking tear gas being thrown. That's all. And what I'm saying is let's put a positive spin on a negative news story. Why are we not do what they do in Compton and just have fucking cameras everywhere, and we can tap in and watch this shit go down whenever we please? Because it seems like it's getting pretty wild out there. I think it'd be fair. As a Canadian, I would tune in. Sunday nights, Saturday nights, you never know what's going to pop off. They're carrying around, what do they, bear spraying one another? It's a very Winnipeg type kind of gang war that's going on between these folks. It's tough to follow. It's a tough to follow scenario we got here. And I'm not trying to be a little fucking racist cool boy over here so that way I can cater to a certain demographic of people that, have questionable thoughts about immigration. And that's not aimed at anybody. I'm just saying, you and your uncle's friends sit around and they're like, hey, my nephew says some pretty wild shit on the internet. Hey. It's just for entertainment purposes. We're not, like I said, if I'm caught outside with a goddamn sign in my hand and I'm outside any sort of city hall, fucking courthouse, legislative, federal building, being like, hey, ho, you have every right to beat me to a pulp. You have every right. You heard it here first. You have every right to attempt to end my life. Simple as that. And now with that being, I'm not about to go and fucking, with all the fucking violence that's happening in these areas, I'm just saying, since nothing's being done about it, why don't we live stream it? Why not? What's the worst that's going to happen? Gambling? Fuck, you can't turn on any game these days. You can't watch the NFL, NHL, UFC. They're just hammering it. The odds of this fight are, and I would love to gamble on fucking whatever this is called. What is it, a separatist war? That's how much I don't care. I don't care. What I do care is what's the over-under on the Khalistanis on a 5v10 sword fight. Why is there not gladiator style events taking place? They seem to be that violent with one another. Let them fucking do it. We're not stopping it. Every fucking week you hear something like, hey, Sunpreet Tulasani got suplexed through 4 tables this weekend. Who's recording this? Why are we not getting this on tape? Manpreet took 4 tasers to the skull. It's like, you're just Where's the cameras? Where's the cameras? Don't piss me off anymore with this shit until the police aren't doing anything. So let a promoter step in and sanction these events. I don't even care if it's sanctioned or not. Unsanction it. I don't fucking, who cares? I don't even know what that means. Who gives a shit? 4 cameras, put them up, get a circle, square. I don't give a shit. Dig a hole in the ground and kick them in there. And they're like, you guys got to fight your way out of this. Gift wrapped a bunch of boxes. And then when somebody donates, we'll do it like Total Hunger Games thing. And you can throw a taser in there. And all the proceeds can go to the food banks. We'll solve hunger. We'll solve hunger and the entertainment issue. Because, like, let's be honest, the CBC is dying. Turn it into the fucking Canadian, what's the beating center? You know? Why not? Why not? Who's watching the CBC? Other than me going to their news articles every fucking week, who's watching the CBC? Who's turning it on? I think like the average person that has the app spends no more than 15 minutes a month on it. You telling me if that the CBC just said, hey, we decided to drop all this identity politics nonsense and we're just going to strictly focus on Kalistani versus whoever fucking wars, and we're just going to dig a hole in the middle of Brampton. It's going to be about 500 feet by 500 feet. And, once we raise enough money, we'll get a stadium of some sort and it'll look similar to the Roman Gladiator. And then, we'll drop weapons in every now and then. We'll have different style of matches. Like it was like, you remember Ellis Mania? It'll be like that. We'll have a dog collar fight match. We'll have fucking, capture the flag. But instead, everybody just gets fucking dead. We'll make it violent as hell. Violent as hell. Why not? Why not? There's a fucking let's stop pretending like the deck, like this house of cards isn't close to crumbling to the ground. Let's have some fun. Have some fun. They want to be violent. We want to watch it. Makes sense to me. You're not gonna believe it, folks. Somebody has sent a voicemail in. Somebody sent a voicemail into the Uncle Hack podcast, and you can do so yourself by emailing a voice note or however you want to record it to unclehack@dangercats.tv with the subject line fan mail, whatever, Kitty Cat Corner. I like this person named it Kitty Cat Corner 69 fan mail or whatever. Call it whatever you want. Voicemail. I want to hear the tone. I want to hear the delivery. I want to hear the passion in your voice. I don't really care what you talk about. I don't care because it falls on your shoulders. And, whatever you write in the fucking body of the email, I'll read it out here. Like, for instance, hey, Hack, here's a voice memo of me rambling on about progressive bullshit that I actually had to deal with in person, not online. Sent from my iPhone. unclehack@dangercats.tv if you want to send in a voice note. Anyways, here we go.
Hey, Hack. Giving you a voice memo for your Kitty Cat Corner. Or
Kitty Cat
what the fuck
Corner.
you're calling it these days.
Wow.
So, to start, I sold my car back in
He's from Ontario. Or
August,
East.
I think it was. And I got some money off of it, paid it off, all that good stuff, and I've been saving up money ever since to buy myself something else. And, I finally found something I really have my heart set on.
Yeah.
Chevy Camaro.
Ooh.
It's a 2018, black on black, all that good stuff. V6, can't afford the V8, of course, because it's like north of 50 grand, but this is about 19.5.
All right.
Anyways, I haven't seen it at the dealership yet or whatnot, but I'm interested in the thing. And I thought, you know what, the dealership does offer financing, but I'll call the bank and see how much the loan is. The car, I think, is about 19.5 or whatever I said it is. I've got about 12.5 to use on a car. So I'm going to see the bank can give me a loan for the rest. So I call up RBC, my bank, and I, talk to a girl from this side of the planet, spoke perfect English, whatnot. And we're talking about this stuff, and I'm answering her questions or whatever. And then she's like, "Oh, I forgot to ask you the security questions. What's my full name? Where do I live? All that stuff." And then she says, "Now, I'm not gonna use my last name because it's very unique. But she's like, is it Mister or what would you like to go by?" And I'm like, "Mister is fine." And then she's like, "What are your pronouns?"
Uh-oh.
Is she fucking serious? Pronouns? Like, I just had a long pause, and I was like, "I'm a guy." That's what I said. And she's like, "Ha ha ha. Okay, he, him, is it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then we carried on with the conversation or whatever. And then after the conversation, she says, "Now I'm going to send you an email with the 2 loan options we discussed so you can think them over, whatever. Be sure to reply to the email and let me know if you want to go forward with one of these loans or if you don't want to at all, because I need a reply." And I was like, "All right, fine, I'll think it over, whatever." And then as soon as I got off the phone, I thought, this might be the first time ever where I wish I was speaking to someone from the other side of the planet. When you call a business or a bank or whatever, and it's in Chinese accent or lady or Punjabi or whatever, you can barely make heads or tails out of what they're saying because their accent is so thick and they mean well and all that good stuff. But this is the first time where, I've called the bank. I don't do it often, but this is the first time where I've called the bank. It's like, oh, I'm speaking to someone who's crystal clear English, no accent. But of course, it's got to be like a super white, liberal, suburban mom asking pronouns. I've never been asked my pronouns my whole fucking life. Not in my whole life. And then I saw in the email that she sent me, I'm not going to send a screenshot of it or whatever because, it has my personal details. But, she has her name in it, her full name, and I'll just give her first name. It said Linda, last name, then in parentheses, her pronouns. She/her/hers, parenthesis. I'm thinking, are we fucking serious? Like, holy smokes. I don't know. I think this shit's retarded, and I thought it was just crazy stuff on the internet, pronouns, 100 genders, all that. I thought it was just like on the internet bullshit, but clearly it's actually real. And then in closing, you're always talking about your Thunder Bay show coming up or whatever. As someone from Ontario, I can tell you, you think it's pronounced Thunder Bay, but it's really pronounced Thunder Bay. I don't know what it is, but those fellas up there, it's pronounced Thunder Bay, not Thunder Bay.
All right.
If you go up into Thunder Bay for your show, just make start calling it Thunder Bay because that's what's right,
Okay. All right. Noted.
Anyways, I've been rambling on for quite a while. What do you think about that?
You know what? Quite hilarious that, this whole time you probably find yourself. I imagine some people find themselves like complaining about immigrants and accents and all that, like it is a funny thing to like, oh, Jesus Christ, why don't you learn how to speak fucking English? And, like when you hear that, you kind of have a giggle about it, and it is funny. But it also is hilarious that like when you do get somebody white, like it's like, fuck, this, like you get pissed over the fact that you're like, for fuck me. Oh, what's your pronouns? He's right though. You never have to, if you hear like you said, like a Chinese accent, you think that's asking you what your pronouns are? No. You don't, damn well that is not asking you, oh, what's your, you mean, oh, what is your pronoun? What is a pronoun? Which would be funny. But he's right. It's the war on your mind. And we're losing the war on our minds. Speaking of which, head on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/DangerCat69. Extra episode waiting for you today. And for all show tickets, head on over to DangerCatShop.com. and pick us some tickets to an upcoming show. We would greatly appreciate that. And we'll see you next week, Tuesday, or if early episode, Tuesday, 3 p.m., and fucking Thursday, 3 p.m., Uncle Ack Podcast.